You're supposed to spend how much on an engagement ring? Pour yourselves a stiff drink, fellas. It's time to talk about how much money an engagement ring is supposed to cost. Now, engagement rings come in all shapes, all sizes, all styles, all budgets. Just because you see so-and-so celebrity is rocking a $5 million engagement ring doesn't mean that that's the standard anyone expects anybody else to live up to. There's a very common line that we're told, and our parents were told, 3 months salary. Everybody knows it, say it with me. 3 months salary. What does 3 months salary really mean anyway? Does that mean if you make $3,000 a month, you're supposed to spend $9,000 on the engagement ring? Well, supposed to and here's a suggestion are two very different things. The suggestion of 3 months salary is designed for a couple of different reasons. One, it's a guideline. Now, you can spend as much or as little on an engagement ring as you want. That's entirely up to you, the kind of lifestyle you and your bride-to-be lead, any other variables you want to throw in there. Money is money, regardless of how much or how little you have to spend. And it doesn't matter. Don't ever let a salesperson make you feel like less of a person because you're not spending more money on a ring. The 3 months salary is designed to ensure that a gentleman doesn't overspend himself on the initial ring, because you have a lot of other things to deal with as well. There's going to be bands involved, both for you and for her. There's going to be wedding plans to make, etc., etc., etc. There's a lot of outgo. You don't want to put yourself in the poorhouse when you buy your ring. Now, that being said, I have some thoughts on the matter, not because I'm in the jewelry industry. Let's get that straight right away. But no one in 10 years is going to remember whether or not you had linen or silk chiffon tablecloths at your wedding, and no one is going to go home saying, oh, that was a really nice ceremony, but man, I wish they had sprung for those upgraded chair covers. Nobody. But every time she shows off that ring to her friends, to her family, on her Facebook, on Instagram, wherever, that's what's going to get seen. So take that into consideration. Now, 3 months sounds like a lot, but it's really not if you consider that you're going to wear that piece over the course of a lifetime. I mean, if you broke down what a $10,000 ring cost over the course of the next 40 years, it doesn't add up to that much every day if you think about it. Jewelry should be personal, and nothing should be more personal than an engagement ring. Now, if you aren't ruining the surprise by having her help you pick it out, or if she hasn't already said, this is the one I want, this is the one you're going to get, don't even bother with it. If you're not lucky enough to have that and you've got to go out on your own, there's a couple of things to consider when it comes to price. The price of the ring, something we seem to have forgotten in recent years, is the idea of the engagement ring as a source of financial solvency. See, the 3 months idea is not just how much to spend, but how much you might need down the line if things go totally pear-shaped for you and your family. The engagement ring is a portable form of wealth that you can carry with you, that is safe as long as it's on her hand, and in an absolute worst-case scenario, it's a liquid asset. If you guys lose everything, and I hate to talk about this and bring the mood down, but that was one of the original points of a fine piece of engagement jewelry, whether it's a ring or a brooch or a pendant, doesn't matter. The point is, fine jewelry, truly fine jewelry, increases in value over time. So if you spent $10,000 on an engagement ring in 1990, that ring is going to be worth, on average, assuming it is of fine quality that is desirable, that ring today in 2014 would be worth quite a bit more than it was in 1990. And if, let's say, you got married in 1990 and today in 2014 you find yourself in a situation where you need cash and you need it fast, yes, it hurts, the idea of giving up the engagement ring. But if it's between keeping a roof over your family's head and keeping a ring that you can always replace when you get back on your feet with something else that'll have just as much meaning, why not? So back to the initial question I'm sure you're asking. How much am I supposed to spend on an engagement ring? Well, ignoring the 3-month salary rule for a little bit, because it's just a guideline, it's not a hard rule. You could, if you were so inclined, spend as much money as you want. But if we want to talk averages here, in the United States specifically, as of 2012, the average price paid for an engagement ring was $5,474. Now that's taking into account everything from the highest of the highest end, museum quality, designer, specialty house pieces with giant diamonds or rare exotic colored gemstones, all the way down to the, oops, I need an engagement ring and I'm out shopping for groceries, so I'll buy my engagement ring right here at the exact same time. You know the places I'm talking about. And everything in between. That is not to say that you need to go out and spend $5,500 to buy an engagement ring. If the perfect ring is $3,000, it's $3,000. If the perfect ring is $10,000 and you're willing to spend $10,000 or $15,000 or $20,000 or $250, that's up to you. Don't ever let a salesperson in a jewelry store make you feel inferior for not spending the $10,000 if you think the perfect ring is $5,000. Never. And anyone that tries to make you feel like that is A, not a scrupulous salesperson, B, walk out of the store. Honestly, that is the best advice I can give you guys. Just walk out of the store. Because if they're not going to respect your purchase, no matter what the dollar value of that purchase is, don't give them your business. An engagement ring is supposed to be a representation of a union between two people. It's what says, hey, I'm taken, back off. It can be anything from a band with a couple of stones in it, to a solitaire ring, modern, classical, anything in between. It doesn't matter, guys. It's what the ring says. To that end, when you buy a traditional ring, you'll probably pay a little bit more for it because it's usually going to feature one large center stone, maybe some melee stones. A melee diamond, by the way, are those little tiny ones you see sprinkled all over. Never call them diamond chips. That'll be the first sign to a trained salesperson that you're new at this, and if they're unscrupulous, that's their cue to take you for a ride. Diamond chips are not nearly as delicious as they sound like they might be, and if you say those words in public, it will mark you as an easy target. For some people. Any good salesperson, when you're looking for engagement rings, will be patient with you. The engagement ring is usually, for a man at least, the third most expensive purchase he'll ever make in his lifetime. House, car, ring. In that order. The ring is something she's going to wear, she's going to look at, she's going to show off every single day. If the perfect ring is a little bit more than your budget, honestly, my advice, wait a little bit longer before you buy the ring and get the perfect one. The money gets forgotten pretty quickly, and $500, $1,000 here or there when we're talking a lifetime of wear really doesn't add up to that much extra. Think about it that way. I know it's a big purchase all at once, it's a little intimidating, but consult someone that'll tell you the real deal. If you find a salesperson that you trust that'll help guide you through the process, let them help you. Don't assume that just because you read something on the internet means it's true. Don't assume because you're watching me on YouTube that I'm telling you the truth either. I am, but that's besides the point. Every salesperson will tell you that they're telling you the absolute truth, especially when money is involved. We say it a lot on this channel, there is an expectation of a monetary transaction every time you start talking numbers or jewelry with a person behind the counter. So bear those numbers in mind. About $5,500 is the average. You can spend more, you can spend less. Really, I'm just glad you watched this I'm sure you already knew these things, guys, but sometimes you have to hear it from somebody else to have it stick. I hope we've provided that for you. I hope we've given you a little more confidence and what to expect when you go to make this important purchase. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Subscribe below, share it with your guy friends, share it with your girlfriends, and who knows, maybe you'll be someone's jewelry hero. And as always, have a day worth remembering.